All right, yeah, so if you want to say, this is Tailor Briann, and you're listening to the Vanguard, and then we can just kick it off from there.
What's up, y'all? It's Tailor Briann, and you're listening to the Vanguard.
Sweet. Taylor, thank you so much for being here today. How are you feeling? How did the songs feel?
I feel good. I was a little nervous before I
Sure.
came, but I'm feeling good. You guys are really nice, very welcoming, so
Good.
happy to be here.
Good. I'm glad. And you brought the energy. And like you said, maybe there were some nerves because you're a relatively new artist, I'd like to say. And I'd just love to hear kind of the Tailor Briann origin story when it comes to music, when it comes to you. Because I know since the age of 8, you've wanted to be a star, right? What did that mean exactly?
So for me, it's just anything entertainment. Like
Okay.
as a kid, myself, my siblings, my cousins, we will always sit all of the movies that would have dancing and singing from like The Temptations to What's Love Got to Do with It to You Got Served, like
Yeah.
full on performance, sweating. Like I knew that I wanted to be a performer, but I never knew what. I didn't expect to be a rapper.
Sure.
I thought
Yeah.
it was gonna be like dance,
Okay.
or a singer,
Okay.
but I can't sing.
But it was
I
always an
can't
option.
sing.
Gotcha. How did that kind of evolve over time? And especially, I think being born in Minneapolis, but then moving to Detroit. Tell me
Mhm.
about that. What was that experience like?
So yeah, I was born in Minneapolis, and I was raised back and forth between here and Detroit. So
Gotcha.
we moved to Detroit when I was about 12, for a couple of years. But when I was here, I was in dance. I was in like
Okay.
ballet, tap, jazz, and I did that for a little bit, and then I
Gotcha.
did hip hop. Moved to Detroit, still carried on with those things,
Mhm.
and then when I got back into the rhythm of like dancing and performing and stuff like that. And I've always written like poetry.
Okay.
I've written music for a while. Actually, I was just always
Gotcha.
scared to put it out. I've never
Sure.
had the courage to put it out
Sure.
until last year. A friend of mine and bandmate, Mona Lisa, she was like, "We
Yeah.
should start a band. You should rap." And I'm like, "How do you know I rap?"
Oh, okay. So
And
she didn't even necessarily know you did that, but
no,
okay.
she had a
Okay.
feeling that I was a little musically inclined, but
Gotcha.
um, I I took a stab at it, and it ended up being the best thing that I've ever done, and I
Very
couldn't
cool.
see myself doing anything other than music for sure.
Very cool. So I'd love to talk more about that, but just like kind of how that started. How long have you been writing for then? Before, or how many songs have you written before you decided to kind of take this leap?
Um, quite a few, but they were all
Okay.
bad. John, they were bad.
And were they just in their like songwriting stage? Did you have any production with them, or was it just simply you wrote a song and there it was?
It was never any production. It would just be like I would do
Okay.
like freestyles with my friends,
Oh,
or I would
gotcha.
write stuff down, put on
Gotcha.
beats, and we
Sure.
would all have like freestyle sessions. I would just be,
Gotcha.
and they would be like, "You should take it serious." I'm like, I don't know
Okay.
about that. But last year I got the courage.
Yeah.
The first song that I dropped, it was a freestyle
Yeah.
to "Beating Down Your Block" by
Yeah.
Mona
Yeah.
Leo,
Beat it. Yeah.
or Mona Leo, I think, and it like went up from there, and people were like, "Okay, keep going." And I did the "Hit 'Em Up" by Tupac, and it
Yeah.
just like.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, why is this like? It felt so natural.
Okay.
And again, music is something I couldn't see myself without now, so I don't
Right.
know how I lasted
Right.
this long
Yeah.
without it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been in the studio. It made a year in July. It made a year this past
Yeah.
July, and I've been going hard nonstop. And
Yeah.
yeah,
So looking back at that, what do you think was like the main thing kind of holding you back, or what was the scariest thing to you to like put yourself out there like that?
I think not being good.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Okay.
like I feel like music is something you either have it or you don't.
Sure.
And I was just like, okay, well, I'm good at dancing. I'm good at performing.
Okay.
But I was never really by myself on stage. You know,
Gotcha.
you would perform with the group. You would have, you know what I'm saying, the backing. And I'm a very confident person, like, about self. But I think, like, music is a scary thing because the whole world will give you their opinion.
Right. Right.
And it's a lot. But so far, honestly, the feedback has been amazing. Knock on
Very
wood.
cool. Yeah.
The feedback
Yeah.
has been amazing. So I'm really happy and blessed to be here.
Yeah. So walk me through BDYB freestyle coming out. What was the initial reaction? What were your friends saying? How did you feel?
So I was in a session with the engineer, and I turned on the beat. He was like, "Okay, this sounds familiar." I wrote it in probably like 30 minutes.
Okay.
I just kept playing in my
Gotcha.
head. I'm like, I'm about to rap to this, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did it as just like a just like a thing at first. I was like, okay, I just want to record a song, and then a few people were coming to the studio like, this is you. It's hard,
Yeah.
and I liked the reaction, and I went back, tweaked a few bars, added some ad libs, really was intentional about the way that I was enunciating and pronouncing words,
Gotcha.
because I like to do inflections when my voice go deeper or
Sure.
higher. And when I dropped it, the feedback was insane. And
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, you
I
feed
like the
off of
feeling.
that for sure.
I
Yeah.
definitely fed
Very
off
cool.
of it,
Hmm.
and I just kept dropping.
Very
I just
cool.
kept dropping. Yeah.
Right, right. And so then fast forward to this summer, Tayway comes out. What did you kind of have to work on in order to be like, okay, now I'm going to release a project? Like, what was that process like?
Um, it was so I had what I had being down your block. I had the freestyles, and then
Uh-huh.
I did New Purse last year
Yep.
actually, but I didn't push it.
Okay.
And I know, artists do rollouts and campaigns and all that stuff, and I had no idea what all of that entails. So it really was the behind the scenes part that I had to really get a grasp of, like the photo shoots and the
Right.
and it was
Right.
just a lot. But
Yeah.
as far as writing music and recording, that is like, it just comes so natural to me.
Mm-hmm.
But everything else that came with
Yeah,
it, like the
marketing
performing,
aspects and
it was just
yeah.
a lot. But I truly enjoy it. Like,
Very cool.
it's all fun.
Yeah.
It's all a lot of fun.
Yeah. So then walk me through the PMS music video then. How that came to be.
Okay, so I wrote the song at like 3 in the morning.
Okay.
I was bored, and I hit up an engineer. I want to come to the studio, and they was like, okay, we're open. And I recorded it maybe like an hour, and I just kept going, hey, and then it like clicked, and then I hit up my dancers, and I explained that I just wanted to give like just a good time for the video. I just really wanted to present a good time for the video, and I thought, like, what are staple things like in my community, in my culture? The bodegas, the beauty supply stores. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, fast cars. Just a good time.
Yeah.
So we got the girls together. Photographers, I have to shout them out. Shameless plug.
Yeah, of course.
But Becoming Alexis J, Davey Bad, they really, really, really brought my vision to life.
Gotcha.
Stuart Visuals, he is incredible behind the camera. I always have him with me. My dancers, they really did it all. I just told them what I wanted. They showed
Yeah.
up and made it happen. So
Yeah. That's cool. So
It
you
was
kind of
fun.
had that visual element
Yeah.
to kind of push maybe the project too, and you had those photo shoots too, and the sweet album cover for that
Thank
project. I'm just trying to think. So yeah, Tayway, tell me like what it was once you dropped that. Then like
the
what-
actual project, or
Yeah.
So when I dropped the project, it was kind of like a release,
Mhm.
because it was something that I just really, really wanted to do, and I really wanted it to be good, and I wanted people to see that I was serious about it.
Mm.
I'm a woman of many talents, and I have a lot of hobbies, so I didn't know if people were going to take me serious.
Okay.
But when it dropped and people did take me
Yeah.
serious, it felt really, really, it felt great.
Gotcha.
It felt great. Funny story though, I uploaded my songs, and something happened with like the distributor, and then I got like a message back, and the songs did not upload. So I didn't know if they were going to be out in time, and I
Okay.
dropped it on my birthday. So it was like a birthday gift to
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
And I had to redo all of the, like, retype in all of the lyrics, and
Oh,
it was so
the
bad.
day of.
No, it was maybe like a week, maybe 4 days to a week before. It was so bad. It was so bad. But I was like, you know what? Pressure's on.
Mm-hmm.
Pressure make diamonds.
Yeah.
We're gonna rock it out. We're gonna figure it out.
Yep,
But
yep.
it came out. The lyrics were up. The
Yeah.
songs were clear.
Mhm.
Super happy.
Yeah. And so were these kind of like a group of songs that you thought would go well on a project? Was there a cohesive idea behind Tayway?
So I wanted. So Tayway is my alter ego.
Okay.
And I wanted to express that, and express like, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm loud. I'm proud. Like, I know I'm new, but I can keep up with the best of the best.
Yeah.
So I was really intentional about the beats that I wanted, being that I was born in Minneapolis, but I wanted that, like, Detroit, like that
Gotcha.
gritty.
So bring in that influence.
Yeah,
As well.
I
Okay.
wanted a gritty sound, but I wanted to sound fresh and
Okay.
new and different than anybody else that was out, male and
Yeah.
female. And I really wanted to set myself apart.
Mm-hmm.
So I was very intentional about the beats that I picked. What I talked about, I feel like I'm always like talking about having a good time, being a boss, like
Yeah.
that's I talk about that stuff all the time. So it wasn't really anything that I figure out what to talk about, just more so the beats and the production behind it.
Gotcha. And so then walk me through the distinction between Tailor Briann and Tayway.
So Tailor Briann is Coco. So Coco is like a good example of
Okay.
Tailor Briann. Very sweet, very
Okay.
soft, welcoming.
Mm-hmm.
Tayway is welcoming as well, but she's the girl that's gonna go out and get it.
Gotcha.
Tailor Briann is gonna let it come to her. Tayway is gonna go out and grab it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has Tayway always been there, or has this been new within you reaching into the realm of music?
No, for sure. Tayway has always been
Okay,
there.
okay.
Because I used to dance. I used to,
Sure, right.
dance and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So she's just like my
Gotcha.
wild side, and
Gotcha.
Tailor Briann is a little more reserved and quiet and calm.
Gotcha. And on top of music, kind of stuff you'd been doing beforehand, photography and makeup. Tell me like the inspiration behind those and kind of expressing art through that as well.
Yeah. So makeup came about during the pandemic,
Oh, okay.
and I was just like in the house all day.
Yeah.
And I
Right.
was like, okay, I need to find something to do. So I would just watch YouTube all day
Okay.
and sit in my room and just
Mm-hmm.
do makeup on myself. And eventually it became like a business. Same with photography.
Sure. Yeah.
Photography was something that I found during the pandemic as well.
Very
And
cool.
I was able to make like a living off of it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's something that I truly enjoy. But I would say, like, compared to music like fulfills me in a different way. Those are things that I just really like to do.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So it fulfills you in a different way. How so?
I just like, if there's something that you do that you like, I could just do this all day. Like,
Yeah.
I could do music all.
Gotcha.
I don't care if it's writing in the
Gotcha.
studio, talking about music, performing, whatever
Yeah.
it is, music. I
Yeah.
want to do it all
Very
day.
cool. Then tell me about performing too, the performing element. Like being a performer all your life through dance, how is it different than dance and being on the stage and, I don't know, rapping?
I think the conviction is a little different.
Okay.
When you're a dancer, you don't have to say much. You communicate
Sure.
with your eyes.
Sure.
But when you are a rapper, singer, whatever, you have to really demand that crowd.
Yeah.
And it's easy to lose a crowd. It's very easy to lose a crowd. But I think performing is so fulfilling to see how the crowd is reacting to
Yeah.
you as a person, not even just your music, but to you. And I think the best thing about performing is when I get off stage, people always tell me, like, you have really good stage presence. And I'm like, really? Thank you.
Oh, really? As in you don't think so?
No,
Or
not
it's
that I
just-
don't think so, but I'm not like super into myself. I'm not
Okay.
I'm not big headed at
Gotcha.
all. I'm very confident, but when I get affirmations and compliments and stuff like that, it's just like, thank you, and I take it all in.
Yeah.
Like I've never heard it before. Every time somebody compliments me,
Gotcha.
I take it in as I've
Gotcha.
never heard it before, because it's refreshing and it's really nice to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can say from personal experience seeing you at Yodi again, you definitely captivated the audience, and it was so cool to see all the coordination between your performance and the dancers. That was super cool to see. Tell me about your relationship with S.A. the Afrocentric Ratchet then. How did that kind of start?
So huge fan. I'm a huge fan of SJ, and we're now like really close friends, which is insane to think about in hindsight. But I first saw her at It's Fest
Okay.
in maybe 2020.
Yeah, the one or the summer
No,
of
last year.
2021.
2021.
Yeah. Yep.
2021, I saw her at It's Fest, and
Yeah.
I was just blown away.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to her Yodi event at
Yeah.
Ice House, I believe,
Yeah.
after that, and
Yeah.
I was just like, wow. And it was a bunch of women artists,
Yeah.
producers, and I was put in the group chat with them, and that's where we first kind of interacted. And then I hit her up one day. I'm like, I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm like, you doing features right now? And she was like, sure. And we linked, we talked, we chopped it up, and it was just so organic. And she told me, like, I'm a fan of you and what you do, and I'm like, oh, thank you. You know what I mean? And since then, I go to her for music. She comes to me for music. We do features. We hang out, and it's blossomed into a really beautiful relationship. I have a lot of respect for SJ.
Right. Absolutely. And she's amazing. And I feel like as an artist, it's so important to have those relationships with other artists to keep pushing you. Right.
Yeah.
Like, have you kind of stepped out of your comfort zone in some ways through your artistry, like with the help of other artists, maybe including SJ?
I feel like as far as performing, yes,
Okay.
but like doing music and recording, I'm kind of like in my bubble.
Sure.
I don't know. I'll get it. I'll get
Right.
out of it one way. I'm
Right.
still kind of shy, and I'm still
Mhm.
fairly new.
Right.
And I
Right.
think that I'm still finding my sound as well, cause I don't just rap one way.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and I like to express myself in multiple aspects. So I think I'm still finding my sound and reaching out and exposing myself to other artists and allowing other artists to be in my space and to give me their energy and to
Yeah.
judge and give me feedback. I'm slowly being open to that, but
Cool.
I love being at performances and interacting and seeing other artists for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. 100% exploring relatively new artists, kind of like navigating this whole thing, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot to it. What can we expect from Tailor Briann in the future? Like, what's on your radar?
Um, got a lot of shows coming up.
Okay, cool.
So a lot of stuff going on in October. And I think I'm not really ready for another project yet. I
Okay.
kind of want to sit on this and people really to hear the bars for
Yeah.
real. Because I
Yeah.
got some bars on there. And
Yeah.
I want people to like
Yeah.
listen and understand like what
Hmm.
Tayway is about. But I'm also in a band.
Oh,
With another,
222. Yeah, I
yeah.
completely forgot. I'd like to talk about that too. Yeah. Tell me how that
Yeah.
started.
So, Mona Lisa, really good friend of mine. She is the one who, gave me the idea or the push really to really go for it and do music.
Okay.
And she's a beautiful singer with a beautiful voice. And we're planning to drop a EP. I won't give a date yet,
Okay.
but we're planning to drop an EP sometime soon.
Gotcha.
And that's really what I'm working on, just
Gotcha.
because the sound is so different from Tailor Briann.
How so?
I would say it's more alternative R&B. So it's a lot softer, a lot, you know what I'm saying? Like my sound is really gritty.
Yeah.
Like rah. But it's a lot softer, a lot more euphoric, I would say. But yeah, we're putting a project
Okay.
together.
So
and
it's not
gonna
done
drop.
yet, but it's in the
It's
works.
definitely in the works.
Okay, cool.
And
Very
you
exciting.
know, I'm saying something to you, John. Let you get
Yeah,
get a first
I would
ear.
love that. I would love that. I appreciate that. What's that process been like working with you said Mona Lisa, right?
Yep.
Yep.
It's amazing. It's funny enough, we write all of our songs in the car.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
We link up, we get in the car, we chill.
Just drive around anywhere aimlessly.
Well, we like to go to the lake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
over in the Calhoun
Yeah.
area.
Yeah.
We like to go sit at the lake and we'll sit and we'll write for hours and we come up
Awesome.
with some really good stuff.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. What's like, so speaking of writing too, and you just saying like let people kind of ruminate with the bars you've had, do you have a favorite bar of all time that you've done, or like what are some of your favorites from maybe Tayway or just in general?
One of my favorite bars is in the BDYB freestyle.
Okay.
When I said I can't swear, but I said, say that he the GOAT when now he messing with the Billy. Like, I think that's a hard bar. It's like Billy GOAT, he's the GOAT, but I'm
Yeah.
really the GOAT.
Yeah.
And that's my attitude with rap. Like,
Hmm.
any song that I'm on, anytime anybody brings me in, I'm coming in hard. So have y'all bars ready, because mine's they gonna be ready for sure.
Absolutely. I appreciate you letting me kind of pick your brain. Is there anything else I didn't mention that you want to talk about, or any words of wisdom you kind of want to leave our audience off with today?
Words of wisdom, I would just say anything that you want to do or you're thinking about doing, do it. I never in a million years would have thought that I would be pursuing this form of artistry, just at this point in my life, because I kind of already had like a career path with photography and makeup.
Sure.
And it was doing really well, but this is really in my soul and my spirit. So if there's anything that you feel like you want to do, definitely go after it. And also, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being here. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Sweet.
It's Tayway.